is
Now we're live.
I have a
wow.
pet peeve.
Xfinity. You want me to beep that, or you're going for it? You're
I'm
going right
for
for
it.
the
I
jugular.
already tagged them on Twitter, so it is what it is. Their customer service is horrible. So I told you guys I upgraded my internet speed to faster. They sent me a new router to match the speed. Well, apparently it was taken off my account, so when I was trying to share stuff from my laptop and my tablet, it was like, you need your in-home settings. I'm like, but you're connected to my Wi-Fi. Apparently there was a rental modem. They didn't tell me that until after I called and tried to get them activated. So then they had to, you have to give a special number. So I was doing the chat agent, it's always some name with random letters, but they apparently are kind of real for some reason. They asked me for a number and I provided all three, and they asked me which one is the right number. And I'm like, you work for Xfinity. You're supposed to tell me which one's the right number. And so they sent me a new modem, which I got today. Just tried to activate it before the show. Through the live chat agent, again, automated. Didn't work. Tried to have me going through all these loops and holes to connect it. So I had to call them and get it connected through the phone. It worked. It's ridiculous. Customer service, they make you go through all these obstacles to fix the same problem. And all they can say is, we appreciate you being a long-time customer. We're going to do everything in our power to resolve it. You know what you can do? Your
satisfaction is of the utmost importance.
Yeah. you have a free reward. What is it? It's like some trip if you have some credit card for Xfinity. I don't know. It's like, how about you just pay my bill for the rest of the entire year, and then we'll be fine. But that's my rant for 2 minutes.
Which is 2 weeks. The rest of the year is 2 weeks from now.
It'll be a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Stop getting automated people and get real people that know what they're doing.
Humans.
Okay, I'm done.
Well, that's good because we're ready. Now, this is a special show. It's both Day After Reckoning and our standard show. But I'm going to go ahead and hit us with the standard show intro because it is Wednesday. So coming up, it's our episode 49?
48.
48. Getting ahead of myself. Here on Ref the District.
I'm a pretty bad kid.
Yeah, let's talk about the bigger picture. Let's talk about how we be ballin', playing with the Wizards. Let's talk about the Nats and how they always got good pictures. Let's talk about the cats who rescue, turn them boys to winners. Injuries and updates, oh yeah. To the opponent, we stand toe to toe, yeah. To the top, this podcast gonna go, yeah. I think it's something you should know, yeah.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to episode 48 of Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry, and with me, as always, it's my co-host. We got Trev.
What's up, guys? I got my Christmas joy today, even though it's Day After Reckoning.
It's Christmas week.
I'm not wearing any burgundy and gold. They don't deserve it.
I'm not actually wearing burgundy and gold either. I'm wearing one of my old jerseys because I might have to suit up for Washington at this point. If they need a guy who probably can't run a 5'6", 40 at this point at the age of 36. But hey, I'm 6'3", 250. I'm still reasonably fit, but we'll see how it goes. Of course, we got Stoner. He can be our water boy.
I can do whatever it takes. But I'm rocking the Nationals today because that's just what we have to do today after a performance like that.
Well, we have a full show planned for you today here on episode 48. It is a dual-purpose show. It is going to be both our Day After Reckoning because Washington played on Tuesday, and it is also going to be our preview for Dallas. We're also going to be talking about the NHL pausing their season and not allowing their players to play in the Olympics. And we'll see if the NBA follows suit as well. Well, of course, going to be getting to our Dalla later. Some big impacts after this last game for Washington. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. We stream live every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at 7. Well, no. Sorry,
not today.
I'm ahead of myself. We're back on Twitter today at 7 p.m. So you can go ahead and join us there. Appreciate all the comments. Just make sure you go out to our YouTube page and subscribe there. We're on the road to 500. That does unlock some YouTube features, so we appreciate the support that we can get there. We're also supported through Pacers Running for every run. You'll hear more about them in a little bit. And we're also sponsored by Skybar.
Yeah.
They'll be opening soon in the Lexington area. There you can actually find our man, Trev, He will serve you a drink as long as you exchange him some cash money.
What was that about? That little switcheroo.
Yeah.
It's because where my camera is, I couldn't see Stoner, so I'm moving around. So
and listen,
doing a little bit. We got Mama Perry.
You want to see this
in the chat already? So shout out to Mama Perry.
Mama Perry, what up?
We live streamed the show yesterday. If you missed it, that's on you. Okay, I saw a lot of people out on Twitter who were upset with the commentary that was on during the game. You wouldn't have had to listen to that if you would have watched it with us.
That's
right.
right.
We provide you all the play-by-play, down distance, everything you would get from the normal broadcast, we provide you. And it's just us having a good time. It's like watching with your friends. It's just a good time. Now,
and we have no commercials.
No commercials.
That's another bonus.
Yeah. Now, we do plan on streaming the Dallas game. I'm going to put it still as tentative, and it's Sunday night. Stoner's going to be returning from some family time. I have 2 Dallas Cowboy fans who will be in the house.
Gross.
So it might be a little difficult for me, but we'll see if we get there. But we do hope to stream that one as well come this Sunday. But we'll get to Sunday's action in a little bit. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Now, we talked a little bit about it during the game and after the game. But now that we've had a chance to sleep on it, do you feel better about the thrashing that was yesterday?
One more time. I was just reading that really nice comment by Mama Perry. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Mama Perry. Okay, go ahead. One more time.
Do you feel better after having slept on it? Do you feel better about the thrashing that Washington got yesterday from the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, I woke up mad because after I slept on it and had a chance to digress from what we saw, we had a healthy defensive line. That was supposed to be our strong point. And they were the biggest disappointment. Yeah, Gary Gilbert, it is what it is. Antonio Gibson, it is what it is. We'll touch on that too later. But the defensive line, for the most part, were healthy. And they were the weakest part of the defense yesterday. I'm really surprised. No pressure on Jalen Hurts after the first, couple series.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they ran through us, bro. So, yeah, I woke up mad. Disappointed.
I get that we're disappointed, we're angry, we're upset about it, but I think that was probably, for whatever reason, that was a little bit too high of expectations going into the game, because my expectations were really low. When you bring a quarterback off the street, you did bring in Allen and Ioannidis and Tuhill and Sweat, but a lot of those guys hadn't practiced. I mean, when's the last time Sweat actually practiced? It's been a month and a half since he's practiced, actually.
He actually didn't grade out that bad. He was actually
practicing
one of the top
before.
5.
The grades, don't get me started on the grades. The grades are trash. Okay, the PFF grades are absolute trash. The PFF stuff. They're absolute trash. I never want to see those again, because 3 of our top 5 graded out players were offensive linemen. Okay, and that offensive line was horrendous yesterday. So don't get me started on the offensive line.
The line was the worst part, not the
They were equal.
There was no good parts. So
we just expected too much. I didn't expect too much, and so by the end of the game, of course, you're disappointed and all, but really, that's kind of what I expected.
I didn't expect them to run down our throats like that, Stoner. I really didn't. I know that they're number 1 in rushing, but Tampa Bay was number 1 passing offense, and we shut them down. So I feel like those numbers don't mean anything until it's time to play the game. And I was really shocked at how big the holes were on our defensive line to provide that running game. Like, they ran down our throats.
I think Stoner makes a good point there. I mean, they did not practice for the whole week, right? And there was some noise being made about the fact that the position coaches weren't there. So how much of an impact did that make on during the game that, one, these people were held out this week in practice? I don't know that missing a week of practice is too much, but I mean, they're missing some game tape time. The coaches part, I've heard that that's in-game adjustments that are not being there, so it's hard. I agree though with you, Trev. I did not expect the defensive line. We were on a show earlier where I said that with the D line being back, I expected them to fully stop the run.
At least a little bit.
At least make a game of it. Oh my god!
Not let them over 100 yards.
Yeah,
they had 500 yards of offense. They rushed for more yards than Washington had total yards.
That is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, it was a total domination. Even though we had a lead at the beginning, and we actually closed it to 20-17 there in the second half, but they kicked their butt. Jordan Howard said he's never seen holes that big in his entire career. That's how big the holes were for the running back. So it was total domination. It was a bad situation all the way around for this team with the practice or not practice or whatever. It wasn't good. The result, everything was bad. I don't know how you could grade anything good. Don't give me this. I know we were talking about this beforehand. One of y'all were talking about how Garrett Gilbert wasn't that bad. Garrett Gilbert wasn't good either. He had okay numbers. He wasn't good. He was exactly like a guy who just signed 5 days ago should play.
All right, so if we manage our expectations appropriately, he wasn't that bad, was he? For a guy who was picked up off the streets, he wasn't that bad. This is people crack me up all the time with this. Like I will say somebody's overrated, and they'll act like I killed their puppy.
Yeah, right.
Okay? I'm not like when I say that Garrett Gilbert wasn't that bad. I'm not saying he was Aaron Rodgers.
No, you're just saying
I'm saying for a guy who was picked up off of somebody else's practice squad,
right?
Who had 2 practices with the team. He did a lot better than what I expected. I expected him to be bumbling. I expected us to really just ignore the fact that he was playing QB at all and run the ball. He had a couple of nice passes.
I also want to say
a couple
this
bad passes
too. Also, as much as people don't like him, as much as people say he's injury prone, which he is, Brandon Sheriff is very, very important to that offensive line. I don't care what anybody says.
Of course he is.
That played a little bit of part of why the running game didn't work.
People don't like him. People don't like him because of the money he makes.
Yeah, because he's always injured. But there's a stat I saw on Twitter. He's missed 5 games. We've lost all those games that he's missed.
Right.
So I mean,
Washington has
Please
not
log
been
in
very
to the Google Home app.
Alexa, wait your turn. It's
on
7:15. Not
if
yet.
Amazon's going to jump in. I mean, Amazon could at least
DM first, at least. Jeez.
Sponsorship. Amazon. No, Sheriff is important, and I said
course
this.
He is.
I've said this all year when it comes to extending him to paying him, which people aren't a big fan of.
No.
You do it because he's still an all-pro. This is a quality guard. People don't want to because they see some of these mistakes that he makes, and he's not been as great as he has been in seasons past, but he's still one of the better guards in the NFL. And when you take him out, there is a drop-off between him and Sadiq Charles.
Right, of course.
I have a bright spot in yesterday's game.
All right.
For what it's worth. DeAndre Carter's return game. He put us in pretty good field position for the most part every time he had a chance to return the ball.
Yeah,
it was either 30 yards or beyond. I mean, that 140-yard one was held back because of the holding, but he did his job, and that's all you can ask. And that's probably the brightest spot.
I mean, he's probably going to the Pro Bowl. He's one of the best returners in the league right now. So, he was definitely a bright spot.
Landon Collins, before he went out, was a bright spot.
Landon Collins was very, very, very good again yesterday. And if we lose him for the next couple of games, we're in trouble. Because you're already missing Holcomb. Yes. You might be missing William Jackson III. I don't know the timetable for Fuller. You hope you can get Curl back. You know,
one of the quarterbacks is in the right way.
Yeah. So, I was just saying, defensively, you're already missing. You're going to be missing a lot of pieces again next week, and you're not playing a 6-7 team. You're playing a 10-4 team or whatever they are. I think they're 10-4.
There are a lot of questions, though, like you said, Nathan. Like missing the coaches, was that really a factor?
Yeah.
Or like missing, like not practicing, was that a fact? Like there was so many questions.
Why did on the first couple of drives, especially the second drive after the fumble recovery by Collins, right?
Yeah.
7 plays, 7 times Antonio Gibson touched the ball, 6 runs and a reception. And then he was fairly non-existent the rest of the game. It was Patterson for like 3 straight series. It was Jonathan Williams. I mean, he only had 1 carry, but he was in there for a couple of plays.
The toe injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And that's obviously an issue. That's obviously an issue.
Yeah. That is.
And the slander against Antonio Gibson, I don't get that either. You can't have all pros, the best players at every position all the time. Antonio Gibson, you don't need to go out and draft another running back this next year. You have a Pro Bowler.
People are talking like you have to
at running back.
Running back in the first 3 rounds, or
no, sign a free agent.
You don't need to. You don't need to sign one at all. You have if you sign McKissick. If you sign McKissick back.
Well,
okay. I'm just saying if. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. You have McKissick, Patterson, and Gibson again. Those are 3 extremely capable running backs that you can go to war with week in and week out. So stop with wasting another pick. Not wasting.
Don't do that.
Using a pick on a running back. Unless, you've got some stud there that is one of those can't miss guys or best player on the board. Yeah, and you want to take that's a different story.
Running backs at pick 19.
Yeah.
Get Darius Geis and bring Darius Geis back. We'll be
right. But
shout out to P-Dub in the chat as well as Map as well. Katie
if you was Gibson good and sorry, and shout out Voom Ong one time too. Don't do it, Trev. Don't do it, Trev. Don't do it.
I said Map. You might have pronounced the name more properly than I did. I just went with the first 3 letters because I couldn't.
Oh yeah. No, I used the actual message. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. What I was saying about Gibson, was Gibson good last year as a rookie?
Gibson was great.
He was amazing.
Okay, his numbers
reasonable year this year.
His numbers this year exceed his numbers from last year in the same amount of games, except touchdowns, where he's down in rushing touchdowns. His rushing numbers are up.
Per carry? Is it really
not
up
per carry?
Okay,
yards.
there we go.
His yards are up. His receptions are up. His receiving yards are up. He's
Fumbles are up.
10th. He's 10th in the league.
Injuries are up.
Listen, he's 10th in the league in yards from scrimmage from running backs. He's 7th in the league in overall rushing. He's 2nd in the NFC in rushing.
Right. Not anymore.
He's having a Pro Bowl year. You guys don't want to hear it. He's going to the Pro Bowl. You don't spend draft capital on a running back next year, so stop that.
We agree with you.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't. Oh,
No,
okay.
we agree.
Okay, well, I'm telling everybody else
You're
then.
preaching to the choir, man.
I'm
You're
telling-
preaching to the choir.
Like that.
I'm telling everybody else then. All right.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
Now,
Nathan, all that was directed towards me and you.
I know. He got
I thought you guys were,
You
yeah.
were saying you got
Let's
to
get
draft
your
a
hot
running
chocolate
back.
tonight.
I know. Where's the hot chocolate?
I got my hot chocolate. Don't you worry.
Now,
Fire.
the in the game, I think another area that I don't want to say happy with. The game, there was not a whole lot to be happy with. But somewhere where I think Washington could see some, or had some development, or at least I feel good about going into next year, is John Bates.
Yeah, I like him. That's a very
I
good
really
pick.
like how he's developed. I think that, he's not flashy. He's not going to bring you, quite the he's not the dynamic tight end that people would love to have.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason
He's a
Witten
serviceable
light,
guy. Yeah, I like that.
Is
yeah,
it really?
Jason Witten.
Is it a problem if for the next 5 years you have a guy who just knows where to be and
I
is
like
a
that.
great blocker?
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
I'm
that
okay
very
with a
much.
reliable third down, option. A guy
like
who
that, Nathan.
there was a third down play, that 3rd and 1, the first time they've thrown it in God knows how long. and he sneaks out of this pile of human beings.
Yes.
And finds the open area, and Gilbert was able to hit him for a big gain. And it's just like, that's what you want. That's what you want from your tight end.
That was a money throw too. That was a beautiful throw.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Gilbert made us really wish that Heinicke had a little bit more zip on his passes.
Yeah, of course.
Every quarterback in the league.
And he made a nice throw to Humphries that Humphries absolutely dropped.
Gosh.
Right in the corner of the end zone. You got to catch that.
He was ready for it. Looked like.
Yeah, but overall they just didn't play the way they needed to play in order to beat a team when you're down. They did it in the first half. Gosh, that first quarter was great. We thought everything was going to break our way, but then after a little bit, Philadelphia just kind of settled down. Jalen Hurts was fantastic yesterday. He plays like that every game. They got their franchise quarterback. I know they may not necessarily want to think about that right now, but he was great yesterday, and that's why we didn't want to see him. That's why we were lobbying for Minshew, right? Because Jalen Hurts was killing us with his legs. He was killing us with his arm, the play actions, the RPOs, the rollouts. He was doing everything. So I don't know. It was a heck of a beatdown, and Philadelphia at the beginning of the year, we thought Philadelphia was going to be trash, right? Philadelphia is not trash. We thought the Giants were going to be trash. They are trash. We don't know anything about football, right? We don't know anything about football.
Hashtag just a fan, like it's on one of our
shirts. We lose control of it once they kick the ball off, bro. We do know football, so give us some credit. If we didn't, we wouldn't be having this podcast right now. We'd just be.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I mean, we know football, but you just can't predict anything. I mean, the teams that we thought were going to be terrible are good. Teams we thought were going to be good are terrible. Just in the NFC East alone. Like I said, we thought Philadelphia was going to be just one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they're probably going to the playoffs.
Don't say that yet, Stoner.
Let's not crown them just yet. Now, I will say this: the amount of fans who do not believe in Jalen Hurts is just unbelievable. Second time Amazon's trying to jump in on our cast here.
That wasn't me that time. Who was that?
It's mine this time.
Oh, it's yours this time?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts had himself a game. I know that there's some accuracy issues and there's people still knock him for that. But, I mean, I think we're hearing the same things that we were hearing in Lamar's first couple of seasons, right? Where it was just like, he's a great runner, but he's not accurate. He doesn't really throw a great ball, but he can beat you with his legs. I think Jalen Hurts can continue developing as a passer, and he looked fine as a passer yesterday. I mean, there's a couple bad throws, but when he has that ability to beat you with his legs, as long as he continues doing that, I think that's going to be just fine. So
we'll see what happens. I think that we literally have to win out. Like, there's just no other answer. There's no other thing.
Yeah, Washington is I think 11% chance to make the playoffs now. They have to win out, and they need help.
Tough, man.
They need to win out, and they need help. It's gonna be tough sledding.
We still have 2 or 3 more days till Sunday, so COVID could still attack us even more. So
just like we lost Cole Holcomb today, right? Cole Holcomb went on the list.
I guess technically this is a dual-hatted show. Normally we get positive Trev.
It's coming. Don't worry.
It's coming. Yeah. Give it a couple days. First, he's got to lament on a terrible loss.
It's coming on the show. I got positive.
On today's show. Oh, yeah. Once we have Shady Katie on it.
Once we get to the Wednesday portion of it. Yeah, we're still in the day after reckoning type thing. We are going to go ahead and transition to the game. When we come back from the game, we're going to have one of the OGs from the DMV Sports 3 on with us. So stick around here and make sure I hit the right one. The game is brought to you by Pacers Running Stores. Pacers has 6 stores in Northern Virginia and DC. For the best running footwear, apparel, and gear, just stop by or schedule a virtual fitting with the best running experts in the business. Pacers Running exists to help as many people as possible through running. For every run, it's Pacers Running.
Okay, hold on, guys. Why is that the first time I'm seeing that?
Oh,
Because we just made it.
little
Yo,
fancy on it.
that was dope. What up, Tracy?
Welcome here.
What's going on, man?
You know.
We appreciate you taking your time to join us. Tracy, you've been a feature on Ref the District a couple of times, so people might be somewhat familiar with you. But go ahead and introduce yourself and the OGs. You know.
Hey, well, listen, if you guys are not watching Ref the District, not watching the football channel, I get on here every now and then. I pay well. I'm Crazy, one of the OGs of the DMV show, also known as DMV Sports 3. A lot of things have happened back in the day, but we're back. We're here, and we're happy to, be a part of the show. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, we appreciate you. I alluded to the couple of times where you joined. You were part of the fan episodes. We know how you became about a fan, and then you represented the OGs in our 53-man roster show. Now you're here to represent the OGs, and after this shellacking that Washington got from the Philadelphia Eagles, what was the most painful part of last night's game?
Okay. The most painful part of last night's game is watching the gentleman who I always like to see on the field, which is Reeves, get manhandled as that interception, which probably would have changed the trajectory of the game, taken from him like he was a middle school teenager by your man Gobert, who hurt one of our players with a dirty play. So that hurt. That hurt.
Yeah, he got hit with the too small after that one. Yeah, he straight up must. It was such a beautiful play by Reeves, and Dallas Cowboys was just a better catch than Reeves' defensibility there. Yeah, Reeves is definitely a fan favorite. We like him here. We've had one of his college teammates on the show, Kwame Lewis, who happens to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan, unfortunately. So he was celebrating yesterday. We didn't do too much celebrating, but what was some of the things that we could see positive out of last night's game?
Well,
Yeah.
Our team. All right. So with the ragtag group, or the Band-Aid brigade, I call them, that we had on the field, we brought it within 3. All right. So my thing is this, and I don't know about you guys, but on my show, I didn't let up on the coaches this year. Defensively, we have done what we can do, but I think we can improve that stellar defense that you thought we were going to have in the beginning of the year, that, those 30+ sacks from our bookends and all of that. Yeah, that fell to the wayside with the injuries. But you know what? When it comes to defense, you got to play with a little gunpowder. And what I don't see is that aggressive stance and how we got to bring it to these individuals. New York did it to us. Philly just did it to us. And then Dallas also had its turn, just rushing us to death. Mind you, our offensive line used to be a sieve, holding up pretty decently. There's a couple of times where Gilbert was standing there eating a sandwich before he threw the ball, even though his timing was very slow anyway. But still, that was because of the offensive line. That's a positive too, even without the great Sheriff on the line. So there are certain things that I always felt that there was a problem with our coaches recognizing the talent that they have. I am not one to look at rankings from college. First round pick has done not too many things for Washington, in my opinion. I'll be honest with you. And with all of the first round picks that we have on the field at one time, defensively, if you look at us and then just go up the street, look at Baltimore, how do you feel? You feel like we are competing defensively with that kind of squad? And that means something. If we have the pedigree that we say we have, and then it has to go to what? The top. That's the coaches. Coaches got to step up. They got to do something. I like how Scott Turner did go to his gadget bag. That was nice. I appreciate it. He knew what was needed. It was time. We had to do something, which kept us in a situation where Philly fans were kind of in their feelings. But we need Jack Del Rio. If we're going to go into next week, you know what it is? We got to go aggressive, because right now Dallas Cowboys are so confident that we just copied them by putting our benches on the field. We just paid so much time. Yeah, they're coming. They're going to be looking at us like, oh man, if we don't go in there and bust somebody in the mouth, just like your man did. It was a legal hit. Who was that? That put the wood on your boy? Was it Reeves?
Who put the hit on who?
Their tight end in the last game. Not Gobert, but the other one. Put him out the game.
Oh,
took his legs.
Yeah. I think it was.
I want to say it was Reeves. If it wasn't Reeves, I think it was Roberts. It was one of the two.
Yeah.
Something that DeShazier would have done.
Exactly.
DeShazier can hit. That guy can hit.
Listen, that's what you need on those third and shorts. Somebody who's going to fly in there with reckless abandon. And listen, even if you hit them and they make the play, when that quarterback gets hit, he's a human just like everybody else. He don't want to get hit no more.
Exactly.
What's he going to do? He's going to tuck. He's going to tuck and run. I like to see quarterbacks beat us running. But we sit there, as you saw Jamin Davis run and go hug another defender and ride out the play. That's what he's being taught. Jamin Davis, I believe, can put the wood on people.
Yeah,
but
he can.
For whatever reason,
he's a really good tackler when he makes the tackle. But
we have pacifists in the game of Hard Knocks. I don't understand.
I'm with you. Like, I feel like our coaching staff is outdated outside of Ron Rivera. I mean, he might be outdated too, but outside X's and O's, he's a really good leader. But I think our defensive coordinator, I think Scott Turner, I think it's the game has evolved too fast for them, and they're relying on what worked for them in their prime, and it's not working in today's game. So,
I think that's an easy narrative to throw out there. But I mean, Scott Turner is 30-something years old, right? So how can the game have passed him by?
Scott Turner.
I'm just saying, how can the game have passed him by if he's only 30-something years old and he's grown up on this?
Because not age, but like, just concepts. Football, like concepts.
Scott Turner,
he's using stuff that worked in Carolina, and that's not working here.
But is that because
his dad schemes too?
But is that because he can't coach, or is that because we don't have the talent to execute what he's throwing out there?
Both.
It's easy to say that, but when you got when you got a Gary Gilbert out there trying to run this offense, it's not going to work.
Look at the points we've scored with Taylor Heinicke this year.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But I just don't think it's as black and white that you can just say, if this, then this. If Scott Turner wasn't the OC, then they would be better.
Right, I agree with that. Yeah.
But let me
ask
there's some nuance.
Jack Del Rio, though, for sure.
So my question is this. All right, what you just said, Gilbert, he was DoorDash man 2 weeks ago, right? Now he's out, correct? So why is it that we stopped running? We stopped, and we put the passing acumen that we know he didn't have. We put it on him. So it was something that I didn't understand. That's like
Scott Turner.
That wasn't Gilbert saying, let me pass the ball. I'm pretty sure.
Thank you.
Here's another thing that this is just me. I don't, because I was listening to the commentators, and shout out to Sanchez, who obviously was wearing his Philadelphia underoos. But with them talking, they talk about he doesn't know how they're gonna, cut or make a 5-and-out is a 5-and-out in Pee Wee football, high school, college ball. It's a 5-and-out, 5 yards. Receivers cutting out. If you know he's going there, you can throw the ball to the spot. Professional quarterback who's played for other teams professionally. So it's I don't understand that. And that's just, to me, says that we are not putting the procedures. We're not teaching the fundamentals. We're not. And if people aren't achieving those fundamentals, sitting their behinds down and putting whoever in who can do it. You see, when you know that you're going to be sitting down, you're going to play harder. But if you know that no matter what you do, Humphreys got bust in the chest. That was a nice pass. That was a touchdown.
Yes.
Got bust in the chest. Somebody should have been on that sideline looking at him like, if you drop another pass, son,
right?
You know, got this guy by the name of Mills that is you.
So, practically the same player.
Tracy, maybe they did. We don't know that. Maybe somebody chewed his butt out, and maybe he even sat out a series or two.
We have seen that.
We can't see that. I mean, it's happened with Gibson
after fumbling.
Gibson, I've seen it with Gibson. We've seen it with your boy Sims, of course. We've seen it with him a couple times. But you're right. Again, the energy and the delivery that I want to see, that I guess I'm comparing, and maybe I shouldn't, but I do compare to that energy that these other teams come in. I don't know if it's their confidence that they think, oh, this is just Washington, and that has to stop. Because if they feel it, our own players will start to feel it. It's contagious.
Exactly.
And when that happens, it's obscurity time again, people. You know, we just won the division last year. We beat Tampa Bay single-handedly. Seattle, well, it looked like Seattle wasn't nothing anyway. But we've put some games that we shouldn't have won. Unfortunately, this game, and even with this game, Philly fans can't be happy with what their performance. You know that. Come on. This guy.
Yes, they are. They're Philly fans.
They're happy.
Let's be honest.
They're happy.
They
should
Hurts
be
is
happy,
the quarterback
but they
of
are
the
happy.
world right now.
Facts.
But now, on the coaching side of the house, I hear real quick on this front. I do want to get to that QB part there. Shout out to 07 and Tiho in the chat here. On the coaching front, one of the things that I think that we can say is pretty respectable. You called them the Band-Aid Brigade, right?
Yeah, that was bad. Okay.
The fact that Washington came within 3 late, only lost this game by 10, is something that you can attribute to the fact that these coaches get these guys ready to play. Now, I agree that there are some things that are wrong that these coaches need to be doing something better. But as far as getting these guys, the people who suit up in the burgundy and gold, in this case it was all whites yesterday, but the people who suit up for Washington come ready to play, and I can respect that aspect. Now, I do think that there's a lack of talent. We saw that in the QB play, and that's one of those things that's, 07's question here, and Tracy, you brought this up. Why are we throwing the ball so many times? Scott Turner got away from the game plan, which we knew going in was going to be run. Now, Gibson ends up getting injured. Do you think that as soon as he got injured, was that panic mode for Washington at that point, Trey?
That's the problem. Yes, I was just about to say that. And let me go ahead and say, I give the coaches credit for getting the guys prepared to take the field. And so with that credit does come expectation. So what I mean by that is trust your talent. Trust your talent. If one man goes down, his next man up. Wasn't Patterson? He made the team because of his talent. He touched the ball, 2 times, 3 times? Why? Why can you not do a thunder lightning type situation? Maybe Gibson needed a little bit more of a break instead of you pounding with him. Patterson could, Gilbert could have passed it out in the flats. That is a play that is very simple. I mean, you can't really stop it until the person catch it, and let your running back show his talent. Gibson showed his talent. One-on-one situation, he broke people's ankles out there. That's his talent. So what do we got to do? We got to give him the ball in open space. How do you get the ball in open space? That's where the coaching comes in. I don't know that, but coach, get him in open space. Why isn't Carter getting the ball more?
Exactly.
The reverse, when they did that reverse and then, the penalty, run it again. I think they're not expecting us to run it again. That's what you got to. This guy is he ran a kickoff back. How many people ran a kickoff back this year? This guy is talented. Give him the ball.
Fast.
And he's fast in third quarter. You know what I'm saying? He's fast in third quarter when that defense is gassed.
And to elaborate on that, I know the motion is supposed to, get the defense off balance, but we run the motion so many times and it doesn't fool a single person. Can we just line up and run a play instead of sending DeAndre Carter?
Part of the motion is
Curtis
actually
Samuel?
It's supposed to be for the quarterback to realize what their
but
defense
also,
is running.
But when they
did
it,
we also don't have a QB that can read a defense very well. So there's
I know, but I'm saying, but like when they did it, we were fooled. We were paying attention to everybody doing that around. We were paying attention to that so hard.
Coaching, right? JDR is not that part. I agree. JDR, I think that
it's outdated, bro.
There's something wrong with his defense. Now, the defense came to play during that 4-game stretch, but outside of that, outside that four game stretch, the defense has just not been good this year.
This is really where you're like the coaching is like, can you come close to producing when you had the lack of talent than you did those 4-game win streaks? Can you still show the same defense and make put players in the positions to provide the same level as the 4 wins? And he can't do that. I mean, he was coaching, he left for TV, came back.
He's afraid.
Outdated.
I think he's afraid. He's afraid for us to do what we're doing right now, which is criticize. And that's the territory. That's why you got that check, man.
Yeah.
Listen, you send. Is blitzing a myth in Washington?
I believe so.
It's largely ineffective in the beginning of the season, but
listen, Jamin Davis right now, he's in question, right? I mean, everybody saw Marco Parsons beat down. We all still. But if you send him, I wonder what that looks like. Have we seen that?
No. They always line them up on the outside to show it, but then they drop him back in the coverage, and it gives them like this, and it's just he's toast.
And then what we always have been even with him is weak in the middle, but yet we line up where we open it up where we have tackles.
Because I from the jump, I told from the jump he should have never been the middle. That's not what he played in college.
Well,
yeah.
They want him in the middle because he's athletic. He has sideline to sideline speed. The problem is mentally. This guy's not been there. He's played one good year at Kentucky. This is his first year in the NFL. He needs time. That's why we're seeing him play a little bit better. Where Cole Holcomb's had the sticker and been calling plays, and they're just letting Jamin Davis try to play football. He's still been disappointing. I think it's fair to say that Jamin Davis has been disappointing as a first round pick. I think that there's still some room to develop there, but really you want those first round picks to have impact, not just the first season, but at least show flashes of impact, right? Chase Young had some just absolute monster games where he took over. We're not seeing that. I'm not asking Jamin Davis to be Micah Parsons.
But show
I'm
the reason
why
we
Jamin Davis, where he covered Kyle Pitts in college, where he shows that he can actually keep with tight ends at this level.
Yeah, show us why we picked you with our very first pick of the draft.
And that's where he becomes, unfortunately, it is out of his hands. The coach has to put him in that play and trust he's going to. And if he makes a mistake, put him in there again. You put him in there again. What happened to Darby last year? Darby was embarrassed. I mean, it was just like, okay, people had posters of this guy getting cut, right? But that's right. They kept putting him in. He played better. At the end of the year, we're like, oh, sign him. That is what is needed. You're either going to pressure bust pipes or make diamonds. Come on, Jack. Let's go. That's football that I remember. Y'all remember?
Of course.
What's happening in Washington, man?
Having said all that, Tracy, and we're about to transition over into previewing Dallas. So let's ask you: is the season over, or do you want to see some fight no matter what these last 3 games, or do you want to, like I've seen plenty out there? Do you want to shut down McLaurin so he doesn't get hurt? Do you want to shut down Gibson so that he doesn't get hurt anymore? Do you want to shut down all these guys who are Landon Collins so that they don't, or do you want to see fight to the end?
Well, I definitely don't want those individuals that you just said to injure themselves, because again, that's another thing that Washington get away from. I think that's a very, very good question. But again, I would have to ask each and every one of them and look them in the face. Are you or can you go? Gibson, I'm wondering. I mean, he's performing. I just think that he can't do it every down. He's not the every down back based on whatever's going on with his toe. Collins sounds, with what happened with his foot.
Yeah, something with his foot.
To see, but he is the best thing that Jack Del Rio did this year by moving him down. That is something I could soundly say that was a good move. So
it took a while, but he did it.
Wow. So with that being said, then it does kind of lean to, hey fellas, I think it's time to see what we have. Let's put the best person on the field at this time and see what's going on. There's no need for us to go over the top. I don't think we need to go out there and quit because sometimes it just feels like that's what we do. I don't believe in that, especially this next game.
Yeah.
This game
especially
is our Super Bowl, people.
Yes, it is.
If somebody needs to say it, that this is it, all on the field. Now after that, whatever. I would love to pay back Philly. That'd be nice.
Yes. Heck yeah.
Ruin their postseason chances. That'd be sweet.
Wouldn't that be nice if we went do that?
We can play the spoiler role.
Yes,
absolutely. Love
that.
So
with that being said, there's no quit in sports, really, honestly, or you're not even supposed to be out there. But at the end of the day, we do have to look. We do not want another Bobby situation, Mr. RG type situation in somebody's career. What we do want is competent players. So those players got to humble themselves sometimes to say, you know what? Give Patterson the ball. I'll come in for downs or throw me a screen every now and then, but let's see what he can do. And everybody's happy. There's no egos. Let's go. We what did you say? Ubuntu?
Yeah, whatever he said earlier in the season. Yes. I remember that.
So that's why I am, fellas. I'm not looking, or I won't be disappointed if we don't go to the playoffs this year, whatever like that. Let's legitimately agree that we have to, like you guys have been saying all night, take our time, put the best individuals on the field, come up and trust our talent, trust who we are, make the other team stop us. Don't let them psychologically outcoach us before we even touch the field, which is what happened in Dallas, in my opinion. So.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff, Tracy.
What do you think's going to happen Sunday?
I think Sunday depends on attrition, I guess. Now, who's going to be on the field? Who's going to be healthy?
Sure.
I heard my man say that before I got on, that it's still out there and it's crazy. I think Philly's coach just started, right?
Sure.
I mean, so at the end of the day, if we can get people back and to give any excuse for all of our quarterbacks that we've had, if we had or could keep a healthy team ever, I think it's been, when was the last time we had a healthy team ever?
Before my time.
Hey,
can't even say at the beginning of the season.
No Curtis Samuels, no Logan Thomas, who's reminding me of Reed. No, who else we missing out there?
Chase Young.
Kissick, who I still better back, just for his that back and forth switchblade kind of thing. Better black, but if Heinicke had all of his tools, would we be in the same situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who knows?
That's that. Well, you say yes.
Yes.
We're not big Heinicke believers.
It's still Heinicke
on Ref the Day.
Right. Still Heinicke, but Heinicke with a Curtis Samuels that the defense has to worry about is different.
Sure.
That's true.
That's what it is. Because if you worry about somebody, that's a totally different situation. They're not worried about anybody.
That's right.
De'Ami Brown was the De'Ami Brown we wanted him to be. Then we had somebody else that'll free up Terry from having 6 guys on him, and he's still catching balls.
But we also need a QB who can actually hit the man in stride. Even Gilbert, who has more zip on his ball, missed McLaurin and threw it short. If he would have thrown that in stride, that's a touchdown.
It's a walk-in.
That was what, twice there on that particular drive.
Every game.
There was that one, and then the Humphreys one, where it was just like we're kicking ourselves in the foot. And McLaurin leads the league in contested catches And it's not because he's really this all-star at catching contested catches. I think he's good at that. It's because he has no choice. Every ball that's thrown at him he's going to have it's a 50-50 ball because it's either behind him or he gets separation, but the ball's underthrown. It's ridiculous. And I watched you yesterday. You guys talked about this here on the and make sure you get out there and subscribe to their channel. It's the OGs. Let me share one of their comments here. The OGs of the DMV. Make sure you get out to their YouTube page and subscribe to their channel. They have some great content out there. They talked about this last week. If Washington cannot get Terry McLaurin a QB, can they even re-sign him?
I don't know. They can.
Would you resign if you were Terry?
Yes.
You would?
Yes, I would.
I think he's a different type of player. I think he resigns because of the person that he is.
I don't. And I would love for that to be, but look how we treated the guy who said that, Kerrigan. As soon as he said that, we get him out of here. So it's the organization. Will the organization respect that? That means they're going to have to come on up. But they should be talking to him yesterday. They should have been talking to him last year during COVID.
And maybe they are, and we don't know about it.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
He's going. Listen, I say this all the time on the show. He's going wherever the most money is, and I think Washington will offer him the most money because they.
I don't know, dog.
They know what they have, and they
enough to offer.
Oh, they got plenty.
They got some space. It's whether or not they're going to want to spend it on a wide receiver.
We're like fourth, right? Like with the money.
They got $60 million after this year, so they've got cash to burn. It's all on whether or not they want to spend some of that on a wide receiver. We all agree he's worth it.
Yeah.
And there's a significant drop off for Washington from Terry McLaurin to otherwise, but we'll have to see how that goes. We want to thank Trey Z for coming out here and joining us on Ref the District and chatting it up with us on the Philadelphia side and a little bit on the Cowboys side. We appreciate you. And as I mentioned, make sure you get out there and subscribe to the OGs of the DMV on YouTube. Where else can they find you, Trey Z?
Speak.
I know you guys are out there on Twitter.
Yeah, we're definitely on Twitter. You catch us with just the DMV Sports 3. That would be us. And you know what? But the main thing is, right now, everybody, listen. Because, on our show, I tell everybody, this is what it is. I'm always right. Right? And like and subscribe to this channel.
There you go.
Thank you very much, Tracy.
We appreciate
All right, Trey. Thanks for coming by. Yep.
Yeah, happy holidays now.
Too.
All right. Now, we've left the good graces of
I'm just going to address this because we're real. What's going on with your mic, Stoner?
I don't know. I thought it's better now. Is it good now?
It's a little bit better. I can just hear you breathing.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's weird because the mic is further away than normal.
Ever since you moved it, we was like, oh, my mic's not close.
Yeah.
That's when ever since then. Because it was fine when you said it wasn't close.
Weird. It's weird.
But yeah, we can hear you go.
Mics and everything.
We can hear you go.
Really? You can hear all that? Oh,
everything. Cherish, we appreciate you jumping in here. She says Terry is staying. Ron will not let him go. If they have to, Ron will slap a franchise on him.
Okay, cool.
I don't doubt that. They do have a year to do this.
They
have a year to sign him. So
would you take a lot of money not knowing the quarterback situation?
Yes.
There's
been
wide receivers who've gone to worse situations.
Yes.
There's been wide receivers who's gotten to worse situations. Why would you be a wide receiver who signs here?
Well, we have Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's why he signed here. That's literally why he signed here, and you know that.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is a selling point.
He signed here for Ron. Why would you be a wide receiver who goes to Chicago? We've seen Allen Robinson did that.
Allen Robinson went to Chicago.
Chicago.
That's exactly
who goes to Chicago as a wide receiver?
Who was the quarterback? He was
Trubisky.
He was a number 2 pick. Nobody knew that he was a number 2 pick.
He was terrible when he went there.
Nobody knew that until he got on the field. But the hype before that was the number 2 pick. That's why he went there.
No,
okay.
He already had a year
because Taylor Heinicke. He went to ODU, right?
No,
Trev,
he went for the money.
Don't rewrite history. Don't rewrite the history books.
Quarterback helps, bro, and you know that.
Money helps. Money will solve it all. Will always solve it all.
Money's not going to solve our problems come Sunday.
Randy Moss went to New England for if Tom Brady wasn't there for more money. You think so? Be honest right now.
Randy Moss at 35 years old or whatever he was at the end of his
all
career.
that money without Tom Brady to go to New England. You think that would have happened?
All right, I'm cutting this conversation short because we have a guest to bring on
later.
to talk more Dallas.
We don't have to bring her on.
Who cares? Oh,
jeez, here we go.
We're even gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna give her the big screen.
What are you wearing?
That's an ugly hat.
I said I was gonna have
an ugly sweater and an ugly hat.
I said I was gonna have headgear.
You got a different headgear.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome, Katie Markle, Rep District's nemesis and resident Dallas Cowboys fanatic and insider.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good to have you back, Katie.
Joining us again.
Nathan's like, okay, this is like.
My eyes hurt looking at this hat that she has on her head.
It goes with my hat. It's my sweater, actually.
I appreciate Trev for joining me in the festive attire.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so what are you here for?
The game didn't go our way last time against the Dallas Cowboys. You did not show up for.
I didn't, and I do feel bad about that. Like,
you were scared.
Be able to, and I was like, I can't make this happen. I felt so bad,
we held our end of the bargain. We all had something blue.
Yep.
So we held our end of the bargain.
And I'll tell you what. I am willing to, and because you guys did it, I did see it. I will hold up my end of the bargain. You guys your debt has been paid, but in the unlikely event that Washington does win on Sunday or whenever they play, I will show up day after in something.
Oh, EP, you're right.
Yeah, EP's getting Trev to strip on camera right now.
Yeah, you are wearing blue.
Oops, sorry.
You are wearing blue.
Up there.
EP calling out Trev for wearing a blue sweater.
There's still blue. There's still blue on that.
That's Capitals blue.
He's out.
Capitals blue.
He's not gonna give you the satisfaction, Katie. All right, Katie, let's look forward to this game, right?
I want to look forward to it, but there is such uncertainty in the air right now.
Yeah.
Not only let's be real. Let's address the elephant in the room. How sure are we that we're playing Sunday and not Monday or Tuesday?
You're not, or if you're playing at all, or who's going to play if they play.
I will say I am willing to bet that we will play, and that is
on Sunday.
Not on Sunday, but we will play. We will not let this game get canceled, and that is for a 2-word reason. Uncle
Jerry Jones.
Jerry. Yeah. He's not going to let this game get canceled. That would be a huge financial loss for both teams. I feel like Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder probably Zoom each other in their evil basement crypts and decide how they're going to make everyone's life miserable.
They have bunk beds in the same crypt. They don't, that's what it is.
It's from the opposite ends. They just want to make it separate, but they're it's like a shared basement.
It's the same, yeah.
So there is a lot of uncertainty, especially with Washington's personnel. I did take a look at your injury list. We don't know who's going to get cleared to come back for you guys next week. So I think that actually is a disadvantage to us. We don't know what kind of a team we're playing. Yeah. Did Garrett Gilbert? Absolutely. But he's also a familiar face to Dallas. The thing is, though, is that right now we don't have a very large reserve list of Dallas Cowboys out with COVID-19. But again, y'all didn't on Wednesday last week either. So I think, we can say folks need to be as careful as they can. But I think I can speak more than anybody when you can be vax boosted, do everything right. Right now, we are in a very big state where this virus is getting a lot of people. Of course, it's affecting other teams as well. And so I don't know what kind of team Washington's going to have, and I don't know what kind of team Dallas is going to have. On the other side of that coin, I don't know. Let's say we have a healthy team in Dallas. I don't know which one's going to show up. Because I got to be honest, guys, I was a little underwhelmed at kind of the laissez-faire attitude that Dallas took to the Giants game. Yes, it was the Giants. It's just oh, bless. it's the Giants. But I kind of wish we had shown a little bit more force with that. Yeah. I did read an interesting tweet. If we were winning all the same games, losing all the same games, but it was our defense that was struggling instead of our offense, would Dallas be panicking as much? And I'm going to go ahead and say no. Yeah. I need the offense to do what it knows how to do. And yes, I know Zeke is hurt. Tony Pollard was a limited participant in practice today. When we're good. And I need us to be good because, quite frankly, we have not won the division yet. So there is still a chance that Philly or Washington can come in and just ruin our entire year. So I need us to play like that's about to happen.
Did Pollard play against the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Last week? So
he looked fine. He looked fine.
Zeke looked very, very, very teeny tiny limited. But
I think the only way we win is if you guys beat yourselves in every aspect of the game.
And I can't pull that out.
If you drop, give me interceptions. If you throw interceptions, if you have 10 or plus penalties, like if you beat yourself, that's the only way I think we have a chance to win this game.
So basically, if we have a repeat performance of the second half against you guys from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly, because they tried to do it. It wasn't even just the second half. The first half, there was two turnovers by Dallas. Washington didn't capitalize on them. And then they did capitalize on in the second half and made it a close game by box score only. We all know it wasn't really a close game in the end of it. No. I will say this. Now, Washington's defense held Dallas to only one touchdown, and then to see their offense struggle against, maybe not struggle, but not perform against the Giants does kind of give hope for Washington fans.
I don't have that much hope because we don't have a healthy
What happened to my
defense.
annoyingly optimistic co-host?
Yeah, where's the obnoxious optimism? Where's the LFG Gary Gilbert friend I saw yesterday?
I mean, we're going to shock the world and beat Dallas on Sunday, but the only way that happens is if you guys beat yourselves. And honestly, here's my hot take that I mentioned earlier, guys. You ready?
All right.
If we get Kyle Allen or Taylor Heinicke back, okay, and barring nobody else on offense gets COVID, and nobody else left on our team gets COVID by Sunday, the only way we also stand a chance is we're going to have to try and outscore you. We're going to have to honestly do something that we haven't done.
Score more points than your opponent.
No, but we're going to have to rely on our offense. Like the theme of our team this year has been our defense is going to keep us in the game. Our offense doesn't score points. We win on defense. But this game, our defense is more depleted than the offensive side of the ball. So if we get either Kyle or Taylor, we're going to have to try and change the whole game plan of running, and throw the ball and try to put up mad points to keep up with
you sound like that guy on the internet who's like still figuring out how Detroit could technically make the playoffs.
No, I'm serious. That's the only way. We don't have a defense right now.
Behind those shirts, I bet there's just like yarn attached to like different pictures and like your conspiracy.
The Always Sunny.
So, like I was saying, the only way we can beat Dallas.
You booted our guest.
She's not a guest anymore. She's been here once. She's like an associate.
She is family. She's ref the district family.
That was great.
Trev
does my backdrop, all right?
So I'm going to pile on here a little bit. So we're going to have to take the controls away from Trev here. He is the always sunny. He is the always sunny meme.
We're going to shock
definitely got all the yarn.
But seriously, my reason because we lost Cole Hook. Our linebackers right now are Jamin Davis, Jordan can't pronounce his last name, and some guy named Dejon Harris, who we just brought up for this past game, who was on special teams. Those are our linebackers right now. William Jackson is hurt. He's probably going to miss this game. It looked like an Achilles or an ankle. Landon Collins is foot. He's probably not going to play this game. We don't have a defense right now. We have a defensive line that's healthy, but you saw what happened to that healthy defensive line last night to the Eagles. So the only way we can keep up is literally going to have to rely, and I hate it, on either Kyle Allen or Taylor Heinicke's arm and that offense to keep up with you guys.
And that's only if you can outrun our boy Micah.
Exactly. So the only real chance is if you guys shoot yourselves in the foot and a miracle happens.
I've seen Trev's parlay.
But we're going to win. Oh yeah,
So,
I'm definitely gonna do a parlay on this game.
I
sure.
think this is like one of his parlay bets. It's just not going to hit. There was a lot of ifs in this list here. He's like if there's
I'm just
this,
being optimistic.
and then there's this, and then there's this,
We're
and
gonna
then
shock
there's
the
this.
world.
Washington can win.
That's literally the only way that's gonna happen. There's no other way that.
Any given Sunday. I mean, Detroit just beat Arizona.
But they have health. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody
They have
in
healthy
the NFC
players.
was a Detroit fan that day because not only that, especially Dallas, we love Detroit because it actually knocked Arizona down to the 4th spot.
Yeah, but Detroit was healthy, Nathan. We're not healthy. Even our backups are on COVID list. We're not healthy on defensive side of the ball.
I'm about to hear Stoner say about how Detroit has a legit QB because apparently I missed the memo. Goff is a legit QB.
He's a legit QB. I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl or whatever. He's a legit quarterback. That's all he is.
I'd take Jared Goff right now over Taylor Heinicke for sure.
Of course you would.
Yeah. Okay.
He's taken 100 times over 100.
Come on here.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. He's a legit QB.
I mean, he's only.
That's like saying, yes, I will take a 9-course Korean fusion meal over Subway next door.
Yeah.
You're getting a little out of control there, Katie.
Yeah,
I don't think it's quite that.
No. Goff isn't that good, but I'm saying the comparison.
Fresh at Subway.
If you're comparing Jared Goff and Taylor Heinicke, I mean,
there is no comparison. You're right.
Okay, how many games has Jared Goff won in his career as a starter?
I don't know.
He won enough that he led the Rams to the NFC Championship.
The defense led that team to the Super Bowl. You know that, and everybody knows that.
Jared Goff is he's a competent, legitimate quarterback in this league that can start for a lot of teams. That's it. He's not great. You don't build a team around him, but he's a legitimate quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
So outside of all my ifs, how do we win, you guys? Outside of all my ifs, how do we win?
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. At the very basic
of
the Maddenisms that you gave out there,
they
need to score more points than their opponent.
But but you know what I mean. Our offense has to score points.
Washington needs to put more than 17 points up on the board.
That's
Jared Goff won 44 games, by the way. He's 44, 37, and 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's won close to 50 games.
That's almost a 500 quarterback.
You know what it's going to take? Here's what it's going to take. It's going to take a miracle. It's going to just take a miracle. It's just
why would you even give her that, Stoner? Blue one right now.
Like she wasn't going to do it herself?
I am insufferable. Miracle puns. I'm insufferable during the holiday season. You need to understand that.
Well, I think your hat and sweater give that away. But again, shout out to the Minto Show not sharing the second comment.
I have my evil furry sidekick who's trying to eat my hand.
What do you think is going to be? So we've talked a lot about who's going to be missing. There's a lot of uncertainty. This is Wednesday. It's a Sunday night game, maybe.
I hate this so much, bro. She's so confident. She's so confident.
She is. I mean, they have every right to be confident.
Here's the
Look
thing.
how they won the last game.
I'm not going to do anything in the playoffs.
I'm not. Because Nathan's right. It is any given Sunday. I'd love to sit here and be like, but the fact of the matter is I'll be confident when there's about a minute 42 left in the game. I mean, we had
and Taylor Heinicke is driving the ball for his 5th
touchdown.
Fourth quarter comeback. Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But
for his 5th touchdown? Yeah, right, Stoner. This ain't no to you.
That's where I thought you were going with that.
No, What is going to be different from this game than the one that was 2 weeks ago?
I think, let me rephrase that. I hope that we see both teams bring their A game because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Washington played to their capabilities 2 weeks ago. Now, granted, and I'm not saying this to be shady, currently, we kind of don't know what those capabilities are with the team because we don't know who makes it up. But I want to see both teams bring the A game. I feel like Dallas didn't give us everything it had last week. I feel like they got a little cocky in the second half and let Washington, kind of make it sort of look like a close game. I want to see the effort match the capabilities throughout both halves of the game. I want to see Dallas treat Washington like they are a threat to the NFC East because until we have that division clinch, that is exactly what you in Philadelphia are.
I think mathematically Washington is actually out for the East right now because Dallas does have 10 victories.
We do.
And Washington can't get to 10.
Yes, yeah. But But you want to see them take the attitude into the game as though Washington is a threat to their title.
Exactly.
And so play with their hair on fire instead of thinking this is a team that we don't have to worry about.
And let's look actually at Sunday night's game as kind of a similar example. We all know Tampa Bay is probably going to run away with the NFC South. However, New Orleans shut them out. Does New Orleans
First time in 14 years, Tom Brady's
do they have a snowball's chance in the underworld of making it to clinch the title? Absolutely not. But did they spoil it along the way for Tampa Bay? Absolutely. Right. I want to see Washington play like they want to spoil and ruin our Christmas.
Okay, and we can do that, and I want that to happen, but all these teams that you've mentioned have their players. We don't have any players.
You've got the double G, man.
The ones that we had left.
GG should not be starting Sunday. If he's still starting Sunday, something's terrible.
If he's still starting Sunday, I'm just gonna send you a text. I'll send you all three of you a tweet and just go.
If he starts Sunday, we're not live streaming on Sunday. I'm making that call for this podcast. I'm overruling it.
I got your back, Trev.
Thank you. I agree.
So you guys are talking about your live streaming. I will be watching on Sunday night with a family that is entirely Eagles fans.
Oh, you're gonna be watching. You're gonna be watching the game. Well, then I'll be
in
hop
South
on with
Jersey
us
with my boyfriend's family. They are all diehard Birds fans. Actually, Jeff's brother Nick was at the game last night, so he's just gonna be sitting there like being like, "I hope they both lose."
Well, I'm watching it with my in-laws, which are both Cowboys.
I ain't watching it.
You know what? I ain't watching it.
Tell Jerry and Sharon I miss them.
Stoner, let's not watch it, bro.
Tonight, so
we're not watching it.
No, you guys should watch it. You guys should watch it.
We're only watching it. We'll stream it. We're saying that if Gilbert is starting for Washington,
we're not streaming
going to spend some quality time with our family. And
the spin that everyone's looking for.
Yeah. and maybe I'll probably turn off my phone, but somebody get to me if Washington makes it a game, and then I'll rush to see it on TV. But
we'll shock the world if you guys beat yourselves. Plain and simple.
And that's what would have to happen is we have a tendency to be our own worst enemy. I do not, however, think that there is some criticism both of Washington and Dallas that I think is a little bit unruly. So does the dog, apparently.
I was like, what was that?
That was Chance. He makes the weirdest noises in the entire world. There's at one point he screamed like a chicken. Like I don't know how to explain this dog. I mean, he was on the side of the road. I mean, that's the best explanation. So first of all, and I will say this in defense of Washington, I think the Washington football team took absolutely way too much heat for the circumstances that led to the delay. Period. I think it was unfair. Again, you guys know my personal situation right now. COVID does not care if you are vax boosted, doing everything right, not leaving your house. If it wants to find you, it's going to find you. I don't think that it was fair to blame some sort of recklessness on this game. I think we're just dealing with a new chapter in this horrible book that is 2021 where, you know what, it's going to get you if it's going to get you.
I mean, people really thought that we were just out here like, oh, screw the protocols, whatever. Like, really? They really thought that we were doing that?
Like licking the rim, like
sharing mouth guards, sharing all kinds.
Like they're sharing popsicles. Like no, I don't think that's what was happening.
Blaming Montez Sweat, even though the guy hadn't been in the building in God knows how long. Like it's like, come on.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't understand that. On the other side of that, though, to categorize Dak Prescott as in a slump, I think is also a bit of an unfair critique. Is he playing at his absolute best? No.
He's in a slump. You know what he's doing?
What?
He's not playing for $75 million. That's what he's doing. That's why he's in a slump. He's not living up to that contract.
He's also coming back from injury. I
think he's not fully healed
up to his A game. So I'm not sure what do you consider a slump if not that?
I think
he hasn't been this good until, I'm sorry, Katie, but I personally think he hasn't been good since that very first Tampa Bay game when they lost. He was lights out that game. It was like, oh, Dak is back. Dak is back. Now, ever since that game, it's been.
I think slump is a strong word. Do I think he is playing I think he's playing cautiously is the problem. And now is not the time for caution. You bring up a very good point in the fact that I think that our offensive line is not what it has been. I'm willing to put a little bit of blame on that. So Dak is playing with a little bit of caution because that offensive line can't offer him the protection. I'm really sorry about this dog's noises.
I keep looking at Stoner's window to check the 10 every time.
I was like,
he's trying to eat my hand.
Somebody breaking in.
I'm so sorry.
Just like what you're about to say.
Courtesy of Chance the dog. The thing is that I think he's playing a little too cautiously. He knows that there are limitations based on his offensive line, which is reasonable. I'm not a huge fan of our offensive line, and I do think that our next draft pick is going to be a lineman. However, I think he's taking that caution a little bit too far, and I think he needs to understand that the protection may not be what he's necessarily used to, but there is still some protection there, especially, no offense, with a defensive line like Washington's that is a little bit on the side due to injuries, illness, and all of that. I think Dak needs to really throw that caution to the wind. The capability is there. I think it is more of a caution thing because keep in mind, that injury was disgusting. I thought his shoe just fell off, and I was like, no, that's bones.
Alex Smith was worse.
Let's not compare injuries.
No.
It's Dallas week. Everything is about war this week, dog. There's no holds barred.
It's all comparison.
Yeah, that's right.
All comparison. No. All right. But what do you think the final score is going to be?
Oh God.
I think.
Write this down.
Okay. Can I answer this twofold?
You can
Yes,
answer
as a
it
matter of fact,
however
we
you
should
want.
all do that.
If it's the same lineup as yesterday,
It's not.
30
Cole Holcomb's out.
30-10 Dallas.
He's referring to GG.
If you get at least how many players do you have out for COVID right now?
72.
16 or something like that.
We're still in the team.
We got
Low
coaches
team.
too. Coaches, players, water boys.
So I think if you get, let's say, if you get a quarter of your players back, I'm gonna put it up to 30-17.
Oh, thank you. We scored a
We
touchdown.
get an extra touchdown.
Yeah.
All right, so you got Dallas.
Washington scored 17 points quite consistently over the last few weeks.
We love
We scored 20 on 2 weeks ago, you
on
guys.
Dallas. That's right. Scored 20 on Dallas.
Yeah.
It was like
I
an
wish you
offensive
guys could see
explosion.
off screen, like Chance's head is down. He's like, I didn't mean to bark and interrupt you guys.
Sorry.
Yes, you did. He's fine.
All right. So those are her score
All right,
predictions.
Katie.
We want to thank Katie for coming out, joining us.
Thank you guys. And
here
I know she is watching right now because I called her right before she sends her love. We are sending our love to Mama Carolyn right now. Get well soon. She was watching the game last night a little bit. So yeah, like.
Well, Mama Carolyn, we hope that you feel better.
That you get well.
Rest
Get
up
well,
and
get well. Hope that
start
you
cheering
get
on
well.
Washington, and I bet you'll feel a lot better.
Ooh.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas, and I will hopefully talk to you guys next week on Day After Reckoning.
We're bringing those benches, so get ready.
Bye,
All
bye,
right,
guys.
Katie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you, Katie.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we've got more great things to talk about. I'm gonna bring it to this so that way you can actually see. As you can see, we actually already talked to DMV Sports 3 and Katie Maracle on the cool down. What are you doing? I had it up there.
Oh, sorry, you already did it. Sorry.
What are you doing, man? When we come back, we're going to be talking about the NHL pauses and no Olympics and whether or not the NBA will follow suit. And of course, we got to do a dollar update.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not we do an on-screen dollar remains to be seen because there's a lot of uncertainty, and we'll talk about that when we get to dollar. All that's coming here on the Cool Down. The NHL made the decision to shut things down. It was actually supposed to be a 2 Washington against Philadelphia yesterday because the Capitals were actually supposed to play the Phillies, Philadelphia Flyers, rather.
The Flyers, right.
In Philadelphia. But that game was postponed, and that meant that the Capitals are now off until the 27th. Now,
at least.
at least the 27th. Along with this decision, the NHL, along with the Players Association, have determined that no one who plays in the NHL will play in the Winter Olympics.
Right.
Which is a pretty darn big deal.
Well, they also didn't play in the last Olympics as well. So that I think it was only. It's hard to remember when all these were, but I don't think it was maybe it was the 4 years ago Olympics.
When did TJ? When was Oshie like the big name and everything? That was 4 years ago.
It feels like it was 4, but I know the last Olympics they did not go because it was a whole big deal. Because Ovechkin was saying at the beginning of the year when they said they're not sending their players, Ovechkin was like, "I'm going." He didn't go because he couldn't.
The
but
Sochi
it was
Olympics,
a big deal
the
to
Russia
him.
Olympics.
Ovechkin rules.
Yeah. So that was when
2014 is Katie saying it's 2014. Was it really that long ago?
I know.
Right? Oh my goodness!
That was 8 years ago, just about.
Well, he wasn't even on. I don't even believe he was even on the Caps at that time. He was still in St. Louis at the time. Yeah. But I think it's a big deal because they can't even go to Canada right now because Canada has shut their borders down. So they can't even go to Canada to play a regular season game. How are they going to expect to get all these Canadian players and all that to where I don't even know where the Olympics are, where the Winter Olympics are this year? Anybody?
China.
Yeah. Good luck going over there and
all you hear is Trev laughing,
trying to have a tournament. But I don't know that the NHL is coming back on time either. It's not like next week.
China, by the way, it's Japan. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Japan. Okay. It's not like next week the virus is going to be gone, right? And it's not like all of a sudden.
Sorry, it is China. It is Beijing.
You're killing me with where the freaking Olympics are. Is it Beijing or is it Japan?
It's Beijing 2022. I thought it was China. And then for some reason I had Japan, but Japan was the Summer Olympics.
He would be awful at Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
I used to love that game. Are you kidding me? Geography is great. I just don't. I don't care about the Olympics.
Okay, that's fair, especially the Winter Olympics, unless it's hockey.
Isn't there basketball in the Winter Olympics too?
Unless it's hockey, that's the only reason to watch the Winter Olympics.
In the Winter Olympics.
No.
The best part about Winter Olympics is curling.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
No, it's not. It takes real skill.
Yeah, it's so boring.
USA. Katie's chatting this up. She's saying USA is not sending a political delegation either. Wouldn't be surprised if more athletes drop out.
No, I don't think there's going to be any athletes dropping out. Now, if certain sports say they're not sending their athletes, but athletes aren't going to drop out just because for political reasons. No chance they're doing that. So I'm going to have a point of contention.
This is pretty big for athletes. I mean, especially you got to think this only comes every 4 years. So it's a pretty big decision if they decide that they're going to drop out, which is why this is a huge decision that the NHL and the Players Association said, we're not doing this. We're not going to go and we're not going to join.
I can't go for that.
They still might have if the virus had not flared up again. They might have gone. There was not a very good possibility, but they might have. But now with this virus raging on again, they're not going. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the NBA as well, because all these teams it's hitting all these teams. You had some games suspended already. Washington was supposed to play yesterday against Brooklyn, but Brooklyn's all their players. Washington's now got some players on the list. Lakers are getting hit. Everybody's getting hit. And it's not going away. It's not like, oh, next week we're going to pause for a week. Next week everything's good again. It's going to be really, really difficult.
We knew that, Katie. It is going to be very, very difficult because we're fans. We already knew that.
Do you think that Katie's in the chat? So Travis pointing out Katie's trying to break news that Jonathan Allen and Brandon Shaw were named to the Pro Bowl. Names we expected, but we do appreciate Katie popping in the chat for that because I know it's heartbreaking for her to give any
some
sort
credit.
of accolades, especially during Dallas week.
Well, she's trolling us, you guys. So. It doesn't have anything to do with her caring. She's trolling us.
Why is that trolling?
Do you think the NBA goes to they've already come out and they said that they're not.
The bubble's coming back.
Do you think the bubble's coming back?
I think by the time All-Star break gets here, which is in February, I believe, same time as the Olympics, there's going to be a plan to have a bubble in place. I do believe so. If they don't want to pause, that's the only way they can't pause is to go to the bubble. That's the only way. I mean, you might have to pause for like a week to get everybody and get that figured out. But if they want to crown an NBA champion by playing the game, the bubble, I think, is the only.
Thing is I don't think the players liked the bubble.
They didn't.
No, the bubble is very difficult, especially to put together. I don't think they're going to do that. What they're going to do probably is adopt the same procedures that the NFL is doing now, which is we're not testing anybody unless they're showing symptoms or they report symptoms, or they're going to do random. They're going to do, okay, you're going to go, and you're going to go and test.
Like random
because most of these guys, especially in Washington, right? You had 21 out of the 23 who were on the list at one time. They were vaxxed. Most of them were boosted, and none of them had any symptoms. They were all asymptomatic. The 21 guys who were all vaccinated. And so if just on a normal day-to-day basis, they would not have been put on this list, right? Because they're walking around, they're fine. Of course, there's a danger of if you have it, you're going to spread it to people who don't need to be getting it. But I think that's what the NBA is going to do. At some point, they're going to say, let's stop testing these guys because they're going to have it. So stop testing them unless they're sick. And that's eventually probably what's going to happen. That's what they're doing now in the NFL.
That's what Washington did, that's what the NFL did. And the Eagles coach, Sirianni, did come up with symptoms. He tested positive. Shout out to Washington Football Addicts for joining us. Well,
that's still kind of bad, though, isn't it? Because what if you have COVID and you don't have symptoms, but you could just be spreading it to somebody and then
it's what's happening. It's what's happening.
Right.
It's part of what's going on. Where it comes down to is these organizations, they don't care as long as they can play the games that earn them money. Because as long as they're asymptomatic, they're healthy enough to play. And so it's only if they're symptomatic that they're like, okay, we need to corral you and make you not have you there. So Washington Football Addicts with incubation period, they don't understand it. It's 14 days, I think, is the incubation period. It's a mess. The situation, there's a lot of different things that go into this.
I'm glad I don't have to be involved with that.
We just as fans want to see sports. It's going to be very interesting to see
whether
or not, we're not going to be able to talk about the Caps for quite some time. We'll see if we're going to be able to talk about the Wizards because the Wizards were not doing well. Maybe this time away might be good for them because Rui is supposed to suit up. He might not play. He's probably not going to play, but at least he's going to be he's suiting up. So that's a pretty big deal. So for the teams, maybe this gives them a chance to get healthy as long as they don't, catch the bug. So we'll see how it goes for our other teams here. I think it's time to go ahead and pay up.
It is.
All right. Here we go. We had a lot of bets this past week.
We had a lot of bets.
Did we?
A lot of bets.
So we're gonna I'm gonna try to get through them fairly quickly. All right.
Okay.
First one. Stoner said that Philly would have at least 5 sacks in the game. They did not. Both Trev and Nathan said that they would not. So there you go. I was wrong on that. Mama Perry and T-Ho said that the Washington football team would have 3 sacks. And Nathan said that they would not. And they did. So you lost that one there, Nathan. Trev and Stoner.
I would have been happier about losing that bet if it would have been more impactful.
Yeah.
It looked like I was going to lose it in the first quarter, and I was just like, hey, I'm okay with that. And then they got what? They got 3 on the entire entire game. 2 of them came in the first quarter.
You lost.
Am I even going to mention the Heinicke?
No, he didn't play.
Mention the Heinicke ones only because here's we'll mention it in this way. We're not going to actually read the Heinicke bets. If you watched our show last week, we made Heinicke bets prior to the news of him being put on the list.
Yep. So we decided not to count.
We decided we're not going to count those. Those were removed before. Technically, we didn't remove them before the game.
Only the one
out of courtesy to these two, because I was the one who would have benefited.
Yeah, of course. That's why you wanted to have them.
I'm the one who removed them.
After you felt bad for us, he did. He was like, ladies and gentlemen, he only after in the group chat after we realized he was going to benefit. He said something else, and he was like, "I'm not gonna count those."
Stoner, after he showed me that, he was the one who sat there. No, Tim, sports talk. We are not switching to Gilbert.
That's actually not a terrible idea, right? We
was one and done. We're getting somebody else. We're getting somebody else. Thank you, Nathan. We're getting somebody else.
All right, we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of that. All right, here's the next one. Mama Perry said that Washington football team would be up at halftime. It was 10-10. So they were not up at halftime. Both Trev and Stoner won that one. Nathan did not take any of that action.
Yeah. I've been losing on those halftime bets.
Smart decision.
Yeah, so you got away from that one. All right.
By the way, Tim Sports Talk, I don't think if we put him in there, I don't think either one of those bets would have hit for Gilbert, by the way.
Where's the? I'm trying to find the other.
There was a turnover bet and
it was a yards bet, yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, he didn't hit either.
He did throw a pick.
He did not throw a tip.
I'm going to assume this is Steve, and Steve, this is a brilliant idea. Do what Tim said,
divide by 2.
Then switch it to Gilbert, and then divide by 2.
Right.
I think in the turnovers, I think with the turnovers, you would have expected more turnovers. We would have had to multiply it by 2. Yeah, we should have adjusted it prior to the stream. We did not. We'll make sure that we're on top of it beforehand.
We had no time. It was fine. We can watch a couple bets. It's fine.
All right. So next one is Nathan said that at least 5 tight ends / wide receivers would catch a pass during the game, and I think there was like 7 of them.
Because there was actually 5 actual receivers who caught one, and then 2 tight ends,
and then both tight ends. Stoner and Trev went against that, so we both lost one there, Trev.
I told you they were going to spread the ball.
Trev,
what up?
Your bet, your dollar bet finally came in.
Which one?
Brian Johnson, the kicker, would make all his kicks, and he did.
Yeah, that's right.
And both me and Nathan went against that. I always go against it, but all right.
He's gonna make all his kicks on Sunday too.
All right, here was Mike and T-Ho both said that Washington would have 3 field goals, and all 3 of us went against that.
Yeah.
So we all took $1 on that.
That one was line drive.
Stoner said that DeAndre Carter would have 1 return at least to the 40-yard line, and he did.
Yes.
Except it got called back on a hold.
So it doesn't exist.
And he had another one. He got out to like the 33.
He was hurt on that one. But it was like oh, I got $1! And there was no flag. And the funny part was they didn't throw a flag, but it was still they made the call, but there was no visible flag.
Well, yeah, it didn't come up on the screen because I kept looking. I was like, is there a flag? Is there a flag? Is there a flag? And then nope, there's no flag. And then all of a sudden you hear him say, holding on the return team. I'm like, what?
Tim, we appreciate you jumping in here. I'll explain dollar for new listeners here.
That's where the money comes from.
It would, if we were actually playing, it would definitely come from his. So these dollar bets, they're prop bets that we're making internally. There's no real money being exchanged between people. So in case there's any kind of legal ramifications for people who might be listening who would like to get on us for that, bet responsibly, all that good stuff. We will be hosting our dollar segment on a separate program come the first of the year. But for now, it's still going to be on our Wednesday show. But it's just fun inter betting between us. The new show will be coming out the first of the year. We will be doing these prop bets for our typical dollar segment that we've been doing. We're also going to have a Washington game of the week. We're going to be doing a lock of the week and a upset of the week, and then we'll be doing our parlay as well. So you can expect to see
the parlay
coming up. And I'm still not announcing the name?
No.
Okay.
Well, you got to come up with other suggestions then, because we're like a week away, son.
We're going to have a show next week.
We'll announce it.
Okay.
Well, that's the name next week. Listen to us Wednesday next week, which will be. We won't have Dalla Dalla on next week. This is our last Wednesday for Dalla Dalla.
Well, are we still doing Dollar Dollas after this as well? Are we still doing our Dalla Dalla segment?
No, we'll do Dalla Dalla. We'll do Dalla Dalla Sunday if we're streaming. We can do some Dalla Dallas Sunday.
Okay. This is exactly the reason why I said we don't announce the name of it, because we have no idea what the hell we're doing.
That's fair.
We didn't.
That's a fair point.
Name. Now we're sitting there like, wait a minute. This is like the video we didn't see, Trevor. We're just like, wait, why am I now just seeing this video?
That video was dope, dude. I loved it. I was like, I was backstage and all.
Trev,
where are we at?
We're almost at the bottom here. Trev said that either Shermer or Amu, whatever the dude's name is, would play. And Stoner said no chance.
Yeah. I said that?
Yeah. Yes, you said
I
either
didn't say that.
Shermer or Tamu would play. Right there at the bottom.
Yep.
Damn.
Trev and T-Ho.
I see it.
All right, and then we have Nathan and Stoner both said that this is actually Nathan's bet. I jumped on it. Nathan said that the Washington football team running back would lead the team in receptions, and Antonio Gibson did lead the team in receptions by a lot. I think he had like 5, and the next one's like 2, something like that. So we both won for that one as well. Right? Didn't he have 5 and the next one was like 2 for Humphreys or something like that?
The receiving Gibson had 6.
6.
Seals Jones
3.
had 4.
Oh, 4.
Like
all
this.
Right. Then we got a few here that we gotta go over, which were in-game Dalla Dallas. Which Trev, you gotta stop with the in-game Dalla Dalla. Oh, sorry, there's more money for Tim. Sorry.
What do you mean I gotta stop with the in-game Dalla Dalla? What you mean?
You're really bad. You're really bad at the in-game stuff. Really bad.
To be fair, he's not very good at the whole
right. All right. I mean, you were doing really well. You were doing really well until we get to the in-game stuff, and it was like negative, 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 negative. You did win 1. All right. So, Trev said that Washington football team would get a field goal on the last drive before halftime and lead 13-10. Both Stoner and Nathan took that. So, you lost there.
Thanks for the
Trev said that Washington football team would have a 3-and-out on the first drive of the second half. He was correct.
Yeah,
Stoner and Nathan both took that bet, so we both lost one there. Trev said that Philly was going to score a touchdown on their second possession of the second half. That did not happen. Nathan and Stoner won $1 there. Trev said that Philly was going to throw a pick 6 in the second half.
Yo, I need to stop drinking during the game.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Stoner took that. Nathan didn't want any part of that for some reason. I don't know why.
I think I started feeling bad for taking all his money.
You probably did, because on this one you really didn't want to, but you said Trev said that Washington was going to win 23-20 when they were down at that time 20-10. And that did not happen. Stoner and Nathan both took money there.
I get to enjoy myself in the game.
Drum roll for the overall where we're at right now. Oh yeah!
Oh, look at this, back on top. For our audio listeners, I have returned
12.
There's a nice little dynamic there because our numbers are just flopped, right? Like I'm on the positive for 21, and then you flip the numbers to be -12. So you're like both. I'm positive, you're negative, and then I'm 2-1, and you're 1-2. It's perfect. It's great. It's a great dynamic. Stoner is at a positive 20. This is actually the reason why I chose not to count those Heinicke bets.
Why?
Because you
even
would
though
1-2.
Originally I said count them before I knew what the numbers looked like. Mm-hmm. I said count them. Trev said don't count them. Stoner said count them. When I found out that I was still going to be up without them, and it was going to be close. 21-20 is close for the competitive. Like we've got one more Dalla before the end of the year, and the season starts anew.
Yep, we start fresh.
All right, so I'm going to make $12 bets to possibly make it to even.
All right.
This last $dollar night. Are you ready? Here we go. Starting with, it's going to be, I'm going to get 12, you guys. I promise you I am. Are you ready? The very first
I'm not
one.
ready.
Are we doing $dollar tonight?
We're not.
No, we're not going to do it.
We're going to do this Sunday. If we do a live stream, if Gilbert is the quarterback, we are not doing a live stream.
We're going to start 30 minutes early, and we're going to do
a
dollar first.
And don't include quarterbacks.
You can give us $1.
Because what if
save the rest of them?
If this is the last dollar and Garrett's starting, then we didn't make no dollars.
I know.
We will make them. We
can post them. See that? Y'all just see that? You see how both of them are like.
We'll
you can do whatever you want. You want to make one right now? I'll write it down right now.
We'll each make $1 for Sunday.
Okay, $1. I'll write them down.
I mean, it's the last dollar. You can't just not do one.
No, we're gonna do it on Sunday. Sunday, we're gonna start 30 minutes early.
I have one. That can be done before the game.
That's it. All right. Okay. So we have one. Okay. How about this, you guys? Right now, if we don't stream Sunday, we'll hop on pregame and do a 30-minute dollar for the game.
Okay.
And then that's it. But we're still gonna do
Gilbert's
one right now.
not.
One right now.
Gilbert's not starting. I'll make that dollar bet right now.
Washington football team will commit 3 turnovers on Sunday.
Okay, I'll take it. Trev, WFT, 3+ turnovers.
Come on, Nathan. You know I'm right, dog.
Stoner.
You know,
Nathan, which way you going? Either way?
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter. The team as itself is going to have 3 turnovers.
The problem is I do I like that bet, but that means I'm going with Trev, and the man's at -12.
It's like he's a -12 for
Go
a reason, right?
Finish 2021 with a bang, Nathan. Get crazy, bro.
No, I'm with Stoner on this one. I can see 2. I don't see 3.
You don't see 3.
All right, Nathan, you got one?
Yes, not one, but both.
That was my $5 bet, by the way.
QBs come off the list.
Both of them?
Both Allen and Heinicke come off the list.
No, I'm not taking that. They're both coming off the list.
Yeah, they are. So anyway, I'm not.
Shout out one time to Ehenche and
We've had a lot of those fun names on there. Well, we got. Is that Trev putting that up there?
Trev, you know I won't do it.
They're people too. They're making comments.
The bots are people too.
I mean.
All right, no, Stoner, come up with one. All right, I'll figure out another one.
Yo, shout out Tim. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
he called me Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he was like, it's golf, right? The lowest score wins.
That's
perfect.
Right, Tim. You know,
and by the way, we came this whole thing came about for Tim there, who doesn't know the origin of Dalla Dalla, is that back when we were in Germany and Nathan and I worked together, and I was famous for walking around and betting people and say, I'll bet you $1, I'll bet you $1, I'll bet you $1 on just pretty much anything, just so I could have some action. And in fact, my dartboard plaque that I got upon leaving from there has the inscription of when I was there and all that other stuff, and it says, I'll bet you $1, and there's a dollar actually in a little like case in there as well. So that's where Dalla Dalla
was his going away gift when he transferred, when he left us.
Transferred back stateside. All right. So here's my bet. You ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Terry McLaurin.
Oh, God.
You ready? Terry McLaurin gets
Don't
straight.
do this.
No, I'm not saying. Terry McLaurin has 6 catches. 6
I'm
catches.
taking that.
I'm taking that too. He's not having 6.
He had 2 catches this last game.
Yep.
How many he had before that?
Not many.
0.
He had like
It's not a win.
against
Yeah, he had
Dallas
0,
last
4
time.
targets. The before
6
going
plus
out.
catches.
Yeah, EPs even take that one.
If EP taking that, that's how you know that bet was ludicrous.
Hey, Tim is in on this one too.
He wants
get looked
the
at.
action.
Doesn't
He doesn't get looked
I'm
at.
assuming
never
that's
does.
what that means. Tim, correct me if I'm wrong.
Cool.
Go ahead and
I like it. I like it. Me against the
He's
world.
not-
Me and
he's-
Terry
he's
against
not.
the world.
That's
Let's
how
go.
it's been my entire season.
I
for
want
Dallas
him to get
Dollar.
6 catches. I
Right.
really
Of
do.
course.
But
It ain't gonna happen.
All right.
there's a
We need
reason
one,
why
Nathan.
I said that the ball was going to get spread around last time.
Nathan, you need one for right now, and then one for before the game. Make it a
Jarrett
juice.
Patterson will have.
What if he has COVID?
Well, then I'll adjust it prior to the game.
Yeah, then he can take it off the board.
Jarrett
Prior to the
Patterson will have double-digit carry.
No, I'm taking it.
I'll take that.
I'm taking that.
Shoot,
Oh,
yeah, I got to
double
get in that
digit?
quick. Double-digit carries.
He doesn't play.
So at least 10 carries. He's not going to get the bulk of the action if he doesn't play.
He could split it with Jonathan Williams or Smallwood.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Nope.
If Smallwood comes off.
Nope. He's not
Nathan.
10 plus carries, did you say? Right?
I'm losing
touches.
$1. I said
I'm taking that. He ain't
getting carries, right.
He ain't getting 10. He ain't getting
No, you know what, Trev, you probably should go with You should probably go with it. You should probably go with Nathan.
I'm on this one, I'm banking that they're sitting Gibson.
I'm going to not go with Nathan. I'm not. Nah.
Yeah, go with Stoner. Go with Stoner.
I want to go with. I want to go with you, Stoner.
I wanted a Jarrett Patterson one. I felt like that was 10 was the magic number to get you guys to bet.
Yeah.
It's a little high for me. I do think.
How many did he have yesterday?
Carries. He only got 4 carries.
Oh,
that's almost halfway there.
I know. So, 10 carries. Nathan, that's a spicy one, bro. I might have to
double check. Yeah, Jarrett Patterson, 4 carries, 20 yards, and the first touchdown of the young man's career. This is definitely. I do feel, Tim. I feel like they're going to sit Gibson. I just feel like that toe. They honestly did not want to play him.
Yeah, if we didn't have
during the Eagles
today,
game. They literally they pulled him during the Eagles game, and if it wasn't for the fact that they really didn't like what they were seeing out there from the running backs,
that's why he was
dancing Jarrett Patterson. That's why they put him back in there. But I do think that this toe is going to be enough to take him out. It was enough to take him out last season. I think it's going to be enough to take him out this year. And I think this is going to be the big sign for whether or not Washington is. If they take him out, just like they're going to be missing some key players against Dallas. So it's going to be whether or not we're going to see it.
What, Stoner? Yes, sir.
So what you're saying is like Sunday before the game, I can pull my bet on this, right?
What was your bet?
Like I can say I no longer want to take this bet.
No.
If he shows up on COVID or on the IR before Sunday, you can.
So now the designation is it has to be an IR issue.
It has
to
be.
COVID
it
issue?
has to specifically be
because
your
Jared
player
Patterson catches COVID, then his
specifically has to be your player goes on the list. So that's why we're not doing. That's why.
That's why I say Washington's committing. I ain't stupid. I didn't put it on nobody because I don't know who's playing.
I agree, Tim. I think that they're going to play, and they are going to continue fighting hard.
Yeah, they're going to fight
until they're not in it.
Yeah. That's all.
So mathematically not in it, and even then, I think that they don't care if they're the 11th pick or the 13th pick. They're going to fight.
Yeah, they're going to fight.
JP, what? What's wrong?
I think JP JP is.
Of course, he's going to play. Duh, but he's not going to get 10 carries. Pay attention to the stream.
All right. Well, this is going to wrap up, I think, our longest Wednesday show that we've had.
Yeah, because it's Christmas. We're not going to see anybody until after Christmas. So
it is Christmas. It was a weird week with the Tuesday game. Day After Reckoning got melded into our 48th episode, so it was kind of a dual-hatted episode. So really, we're under time because normally this would be 2 hours.
Oh, you're right. So we got 13
Day
minutes.
After Reckoning, and I don't know if we're going to take up 13 minutes to wish everyone very happy holidays, whichever holidays you celebrate. Merry Christmas from the Perrys, and
Merry Christmas from the Stores.
And Merry Christmas from the Stoners. Or
that's not your new sign off. I thought we agreed you had.
Were we signing off? Oh, my bad.
We're going to be signing off. I want to let's see your new sign off.
All right, Merry Christmas from the Stoners.
We're not signing off yet. All right, we do stream live every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, and we're back on Twitter. We're going to leave Twitch for our game day streams. We've mentioned already Sunday night we do plan on streaming. There may be some issues as we're traveling. We have family in town, so we'll see. We will let people know on our Twitter. Please follow us and make sure that you've liked and subscribed. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500. Once we get to 500, it opens up some of the community channel stuff on YouTube. So we appreciate the support. We, of course, appreciate the support from our sponsors, who I'll bring up right now, which is Pacers Running. For every run, they've got you covered We have a great video for the game. They do sponsor the full show. And also Skybar, which will be opening up soon in the Lexington, Virginia area.
Come to my hood.
You can see Trev in person. He's got you taken care of. Mm-hmm. And until next time,
what?
Be a fan.
We love Washington, and we some die-hard fans. Yeah, we are. You know we keep it on 10. 1, 2, 3, let's go. And they gifted. We are ref the district. Podcast. Come on now and join us.